Today, 17% of children and teens are overweight or obese. That number is 3 times greater than it was only one generation ago, as stated by the CDC. Improper nutrition is not only affecting our waistbands, but also our academic performance in school. Proper nutrition should begin inside the classroom as education, and then be implemented in the lunchroom. Let us dive into the issue of school lunches and explore the problems, the new standards, and the action plan to getting back on track. After all, if we change how our generation eats today, we are ultimately changing the future health of our country. In the past 2 years, it has been brought to the government's attention that there are major problems with the foods being served in schools. Cafeterias are not being able to produce wholesome, fresh foods for students because of funding and budget cuts. According to an online source, each meal served in school only costs 90 cents, resulting in cafeterias serving highly processed food, otherwise known as junk. Processed foods being served include anything that comes pre-cooked, frozen, in a bag or a box. These are foods like chicken nuggets, french fries, frozen pizza, chips, the list goes on. These processed and prepared foods are high in fats, sugar, and salt. In result, these foods leave students hungry after one serving because they are full of empty calories, adding to the obesity epidemic that many of us already face. An example of a typical school day lunch is as follows: chicken nuggets with bread, mashed potatoes with gravy, tossed salad, peas and carrots, and an apple with your choice of milk, iced tea, lemonade, or fruit juice. Now on the surface, this doesn't look like an unhealthy meal, but that's also just looking at the surface. This lunch provides pre-fried chicken nuggets, a slice of white bread with margarine, margarine-laden whipped potatoes with gravy, a small salad, salt-drenched canned vegetables, and an apple, if the student chooses. Not to mention the sugar-filled drinks. If you haven't noticed, this meal doesn't even provide the option of water. If the students want water, they have to pay extra money to a vending machine. For these reasons, the government needed to modify what schools were serving. In 2011, the government stepped in and created the new My Plate Guidelines, which is a more modified version of the food pyramid. These guidelines not only tell us how our dinner plates at home should look, but also how our trays and lunch lines should look. These new guidelines take the emphasis off of refined grains such as white breads and pastas and put them on whole foods like fresh fruits and vegetables, as well as whole grains. In the past, the food pyramid said that the largest portion of your plate should be filled with a grain or starch, next in line, a vegetable or fruit, then either meat or dairy, leaving the smallest portion of the plate for fat. The new and improved My Plate says that the largest portion of your plate should be filled with vegetables, then equal parts grains and proteins, leaving the smallest part for fruit with a side of dairy. Let's go back to that typical lunch of chicken nuggets and mashed potatoes. If this tray was held against the new My Plate guidelines, this meal would fail miserably, because students are being fed starch upon starch, fat upon fat, and salt upon salt, with no emphasis on fresh ingredients. All of these items of this lunch comes from a bag, box, or can, all of which contain additives or preservatives. The task of improving school lunches cannot be done alone. So to help encourage schools as well as parents get on the bandwagon, we call upon sponsors and advocates. Some of the advocates making it their mission to improve school lunches include the First Lady Michelle Obama and celebrity chef Rachael Ray. Michelle Obama has done amazing work in trying to improve school lunches by introducing her Let's Move campaign, presenting the Healthy, Hunger-Free Kids Act of 2010. This act provides $4.5 billion in new funding. It also makes drinking water more accessible during lunch, and it improves the quality of commodity foods being served in cafeterias. Another advocate of healthier school lunch is celebrity chef Rachael Ray. Rachael Ray created the YOMO organization, which provides nutrient-rich recipes for use in schools. These recipes are not only healthy, but they are also appetizing, so students are more likely to eat them. Some of Rachael's recipes include barbecue turkey sloppy joes, yakitori chicken noodle bowls, and southwestern turkey cob salad. In providing healthy recipes to schools, the YUMO program is replacing unhealthy choices with healthier ones. Once we get schools feeding students healthy foods, it will yield great benefits. According to the CDC, proper nutrition among children and adolescents improves their cognitive function, including memory, meaning that it is vital for better academic performance. Proper nutrition also promotes better attendance in schools. Most of all, the benefits of proper nutrition impact our energy levels. It allows us to get through our day-to-day lives as well as have the energy to participate in physical activities. If students can eat better, do better in school, and feel better, they are being set up for a healthy life. In conclusion, the future health of our country begins with school lunch. What we are fed today, it affects how we will live our lives in 20 years. If we continue as a nation and keep demanding for better nutrition in school, it will happen. But we have to work together. One person can't do this task alone. So help improve school lunches and improve our futures.